Okay, so welcome to part two of the LinkPi encoder decoder. So really, in part one, we actually went over the LinkPi and all the settings of the LinkPi. Now, in part two, I wanted to actually go ahead and clone one LinkPi from the other. So essentially, when I say clone, I don't know if there's an easy way to do this. I'm actually just going to copy the settings from my older LinkPi, which is the LinkPi ENC1 version 2, to my LinkPi ENC1 version 3, which is a new one, which is the 4K one that I'm going to use. So essentially, I'm doing this because I do want to use the version 3. It has a better CPU. I think can handle a lot more. And of course, I want to use it for my 24/7 radio station. So I may actually set that up as well in this video, but let's actually go ahead and start working on this. So just before I actually do, I wanted to just quickly share the website where you can actually buy these LinkPi encoders. Now, this is the AliExpress website, which usually has all the devices. It has, at the moment, it looks like it has three, six, seven, eight LinkPi encoders. It has a few more down here. So look, there are a few that AliExpress actually has, and it actually might be the best choice to buy these LinkPi encoders. The other option is this other store called Yi2. This is a Chinese store as well, just like AliExpress. It does have LinkPi devices, as you can see. It does have a few different kind of LinkPi devices. This is something I haven't actually seen before. Let's take a look at this one. This one is an SDI from the looks of it. It's an SDI input output, which is great. It's got USB, LAN, NDI as well, so on and so forth. Yeah, it is obviously higher price, but it is SDI. The one I have is HDMI. You've got this ENC version 1, which is a USB Wi-Fi 6 adapter for the LinkPi. So this is an actual adapter, which is for $35. This is interesting. I haven't seen this one before. How does this actually work? So, okay, so it's got Wi-Fi. Supports the LinkPi ENC version 3. All right, so I haven't actually used this one, but this one looks interesting. Maybe for another time, I could actually check this one out. But look, the website is, if you do a Google search, or even if you go to uye2.com, and I'll have the links below, you can actually do a search for LinkPi, and you will actually get some up. Now, there's a capture card as well that they've got that is not available on AliExpress. That's an interesting one. This is the older LinkPi. This one right here, LinkPi, the SDI to HDMI converter. Now, that's a converter. Just looking at the other ones over here, you've got that one, which I've seen as well. It's got two NICs, so that's interesting. Well, it looks like it's got three. Let me have a look at this one. So this one is interesting. It is a HDMI screen recorder and encoder, decoder, SRT NDI. Interesting. And let's actually have a look at this device right here. Looks quite interesting. So it looks like it's got two LAN ports at the back and it's got one LAN port in the front. Yeah, so a few different devices on the UE2 website. Um, that's interesting. So without further ado, I'm actually going to get into my work for setting up my encoder. So let's actually go ahead and do that. And look, guys, feel free to get onto this website, have a look, see what these LinkPi encoders are amazing. And I'll have links down below if you want to buy one. Mine will be an affiliate link, but feel free to buy one from me. It's a little bit of commission for me. That's great. But anyway, on with the video. All right, so now I've got two LinkPis over here, both on different IP addresses. This one, which is ending in 218, this is my LinkPi version 2, and this one ending in 105 is my LinkPi version 3. So I'm going to log into this one first. And I've logged into my LinkPi the first version. Yep, and as you can see, just like before, I do have a HDMI screen in there as a preview. That's just because my Windows PC is connected to my LinkPi encoder over HDMI, and essentially this is the one I used to use that I want to swap over with the other one right here. So let's log into the version 3. And when you first log in, the password is login is admin and the password is admin as well. It does tell me to change the password, which I will do, and that's totally fine. And let's dive right into this. So to looking at the encode, there's nothing obviously connected to this at the moment. I do have a USB camera, but that is plugged in, but that is disabled at the moment. So I'm actually going to enable that. I don't know what the sync is a little bit different. We don't actually have that option. And we don't have the sync option in this one. Maybe this isn't running an older firmware, but I don't have that one. But that's fine. I'm going to save that. And there we go. We've got our USB camera. I'm right there. So excellent. That audio is coming through as well. Excellent. That one is actually coming through from the camera, which is perfect. So I just wanted to do a quick test just to see if this actually works, which is wonderful. Okay, so let's actually go back to my encode on the ENC version 2. Yep, that's the same USB. And I do want to check. So that source is HDMI, so I'm going to change this to HDMI, which is my audio source. And sample rate will be 44.1, same as that. And we will set the audio bitrate to 320 and save. Interesting, when I hit save to group, I got the option, um, and I see both my LinkPis over there. So I'm not going to do that, but you can actually sync all your LinkPis. It automatically saves it on the network, and I can actually sync it up. But I'm not going to do that now. But that's great. And what if I actually do sync them? Interesting. Maybe I'll try that another time. But as you can see, CBR 6060 frames, CBR 6060 frames, and 2 GOP. Second, that's fine. Let's have a look at the advanced encodes. I do want to turn low latency on. So that's 1920 by 1080, and the smart encoder is normal. My current encoder doesn't have any min Q or max QP values, but I'm just going to leave them blank for now. Maybe I do need to work on that at a different time. That's okay. Go ahead, video. Check this one. So the video config should be the same, should be the default config. Should be no cropping over there. It does have NTSC compatibility as well that they've added. Excellent. Let's have a look at the audio. AAC HDMI 44.1. So excellent. So when I actually did a save to local, it probably populated everything down over here automatically. Excellent. Let's have a look at the network stream for network stream. And I'm actually gonna copy these and let's do a net one and just gonna call it SRT. Save that. And that's my RTSP. It's gonna go frame rate for the SRT, which is 30. And I can always play with um, the buffer time at a later stage. I will change SRT to UDP because that's really what it is. I'm going to go ahead and save that. And my RTSP as well, it is UDP. And I'm going to save that again. So perfect. So now I've got an SRT and RTSP as network streams if I ever want to use it, which I just might. This, I believe, the buffer mode is set to normal, so I will do that as well. Perfect. Okay. Now let's move on to stream. Now I don't really use the stream settings at all over here, so I'm actually going to just leave this blank. And it should be, this is probably the default, and really this would be the default settings as well. I'm going to turn these two off because I'm not going to be using this much at all, but I like the fact that these are RTMP. That's fine. They've given us some default testing, which is great. And I'm going to save that. That's perfectly fine. Great. So I'm not going to change anything for stream. Now, overlays is fine. Let's have a quick look at overlays as well. This is identical. They look identical. That's perfectly fine. We're not going to use it right away. And what I want to do is go to extend, and I want to have a quick look at the NDI. And let's have a look at the extend and the NDI right here. And that's totally fine. No change there. The main one is the multiple push, and that's the one I want to change here. So I do want to actually set this up. I have a restreamer server, and I'll show you guys that a bit later on, but that's my restreamer server, and I'm going to go ahead, go to my extend, multiple push, and I'm going to just create a new one for this. I want to leave those there. Those are the default ones. I just want to have a look and see how that works. So this is the address for my restream server. And I want to just go ahead and add that one in. Excellent. The next one was my Oncast live stream server. So I'm going to go ahead and add the next one, which is called Oncast. And that's my RTMP address. It is an internal, it is a self-hosted server. So I'm going to go ahead and copy that, and I'm going to paste them in here. And I'm going to say add. And then I've got Kick and YouTube, which I'm not going to bother with because I don't actually use those. I'm going to go ahead and save that. It's perfect. And I'm going to stop that one. I don't know where that was actually streaming to. Interesting. So great. So I've got my Restream Oncast, and those are the two that I wanted. This is just a duplicate. It's not actually activated. That's fine. Let's have a look at the system real quick. So if I go here, extend. And this is great because now what I noticed, if you notice the difference between these two, this is the older one. And there's just, this is basically a start and a stop, HDMI, your video and audio source, and you can set it to auto run. That's great. But if you look at the latest one, you can actually select which one you want, the mainstream or the substream, which we discussed earlier. Obviously the video source, and you can actually set it to start and end. So start time. Oh, that's for basically, as well, it's just a start time. So you can actually set it to start at a specific time. That's excellent. Or an auto push. It's great. So that's something that can actually be looked into at a stage. Okay, so excellent. Looks like I have more or less cloned uh, both the encoders. There are a few other options that are available on the LinkPi ENC version 3, like this laboratory sort of feature. I don't know what this is. Looks like some sort of a lab. You can actually use Insta360 cameras. It's got an Insta360 link. Wow, it's got an OM IF PTZ cameras, excellent synchronization. You can actually synchronize. Looks like synchronize your cameras. There's color key as well. Well, I'm not really going to get into all of that right now, but just to see, this is looking pretty good at the moment. And let me see, that audio kind of stopped with the USB. So if I go to audio config, oh yes, okay. So this should be USB camera as a source. AAC is fine. Let me save that. So that actually happens when you save to local. It actually populated everything, and now we should actually see the audio. Like we weren't actually seeing that before, but now we are. So excellent. So this encoder is now all set up to be used as a radio station. Excellent. So now in part 3 of this series, I'm going to be setting up the LinkPi ENC1 version 3 as my radio station encoder. So this is going to be streaming 24 by 7 to multiple platforms, and it's going to be streaming a view of the radio station essentially. So without further ado, please like, share, and subscribe, and of course, keep that notification bell enabled, and you will hear more from me. And on to part 3. Thanks for watching.